Hi guys, how are you? This is Susan from Orange Light Energy. I think this is just going to be a quick video. I have no notes, no plan, no preparation for this, just a feeling that it might be needed. I suppose doing the work that I do, I work a lot with emotional healing, with energies, with trauma release. And it gives me the possibility to see where are people at, what are the trends in energy, what are a lot of people dealing with. And right now, it feels like there's just a lot of heavy energy, a lot of ways that people are struggling, feeling overwhelmed, just with the way that things are, the things that they're dealing with in their lives, the challenges that are coming up, the intensity of the energies. And so I just wanted to do a quick video to talk a little bit about that, to check in with everybody, to see how you're doing. Obviously not everybody will be dealing with this, but I talked to a lot of people through email who are struggling. And I sent out the confirmation emails to the people that are doing the Portal Day Amplifier session, because 10/10 is coming up, the Portal Day. And so many people responded to me, talking about, I hope these energies help me because this has been really hard. I feel really heavy. I feel like I'm struggling. So when I see it with that prominence, it's an energy that is within the collective, something that a lot of us are moving through. I think this is a time that we've been coming towards for a while. You know, it's energies that build, energies that intensify. And as you're reaching that breaking point, as you're reaching the pinnacle of those things, it can feel like too much. And that can impact you on a physical level, on an emotional level, on an energetic level. In all of those ways, some of those ways, you know, Jennifer and I are both going through things of our own, and each of us, it's different, but for each of us, it is heavy. It's a distraction. It's something that we wouldn't choose to be going through. But as we make our way through it, as we deal with it, it's going to be a breakthrough. It's going to be something that changes things for the better, but we have to move through it to get to that point. And I think that's a part of what I want to talk about, is just how are we moving in these energies? How are you coming to those things when you're in a place of struggle? How are you moving yourself through it? And that will depend. Is it something in your physical life? Is it something that is an emotional wound, or is it something that's more energetic? If you're going through something physical, it's going to need a different approach to something that is energetic, something that is emotional. All of them, I would say, need compassion, gentleness. If you need to rest, rest. If you can rest. If not, find ways to try and give yourself some space. If you're struggling with the energies of fear, go to community, to those you can rely on, those you can trust, those who can help you. No, you don't need to carry these things alone. And if you can express yourself, if you can talk about these things, if you can share them with others in place of holding them inside, letting them build up and become something bigger than they need to be, then you can release some of this tension. I said before that I think these energies have been coming for a while. We're doing some work with our Patreon group right now that it's bigger than anything we ever expected to work on, and I'm really excited for the work. But it's opening up a lot of wormholes, a lot of information that we've had for a while and not had context for. I haven't known its significance. And this morning, something I was drawn to, a video that my business partner Jennifer had put out about 2 years ago that is very relevant to things that are happening now. And she was talking about earth gateways, the earth chakras. But there was a part of this work where they talked about a timeline change, that through the work that people had been doing, the vibration rising as it was, It was moving us to an accelerated path, which sounds great, but the way they talked about it, an accelerated path was kind of intense learning. You know, instead of going at the speed you had been at, suddenly you're going through everything faster. You're going through it in more intense ways to move through it faster. And I think some of that is why we're struggling now. It's great to think to move through these things, but when they hit you like bam, 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 it's a lot in your energy. It's a lot to take on. I can put the link to the videos below if you guys are interested in looking at those. But it's interesting to see that information from 2 years ago can bring us some context for where we are now. There was also references to mass awakenings, to people being more aware. And there's messaging coming up right now about that. You know, things I'm going to talk about in our Patreon call that are going to relate to that. Messages from Egyptian god Ra that talk about people waking up, people who have not been as aware of these energies and this being a part of something bigger, that suddenly the door is being opened to things that they have not had happen to them before, experiences, understandings that they haven't had access to before. And things like that can change all things. You know, it's hard, you know, if you're on this path of ascension, this path of healing, of just knowing that there is more out there. It makes sense to you. You know, the door's open. You're not going to close that door again. It's hard to close that door once you're out there, once you've seen it. But if you've never experienced that, how can you comprehend it? How can you understand or believe or trust any of it? But all of a sudden, that door is starting to open for more people. And there's a lot of power in that. But it's also going to be triggering for people. When this stuff is new, think back to when you first had this understanding. And some of you may be newer to this on your path. Some of you have been doing it for a long time. There can be a lot of fear around it, confusion. You know, your perspectives are changing. And the world is already changing. You know, our understanding of things, our knowing, our societies, all of it is changing. And so to have then your understanding of the universe questioned, it's something else that can unsettle people, that can add to this unrest. For those who are already on this path, you might find that it is a second, third, fourth awakening for you. However many you have already gone through, because this is a process, you know. They give me sometimes the analogy of Pokemon. Because I have a 10-year-old and Pokemon's a big thing in my house. But it's different levels, you know, you go through all of these tests, you find all of these things, and then you do the boss fight. And after the boss fight, you go up a level. No, it's a new evolution, a new version, and that new version is more powerful. It has more strengths, it has more abilities. And then you begin again, and you keep working through those energies, and then as you get cleared again, you got all of these things done, you do the next level boss fight, and you go, all right, the next evolution. And I think that's where some of us are now. You know, you go through all of the tests and then you get the big test at the end, the boss fight that moves you to the next level. And again, it sounds amazing. You're like, yes, I'm leveling up. But when you're in that process, when you're moving through those energies, when you are being tested and you are being pushed, it is hard. But to move through these tests, to get through them in the gentlest way, it helps to be able to recognize them. If you're being challenged by something right now, what wound is it pushing on for you? How has this wound repeated itself in your life? How have you gone through this before? How do you want to move through it? You know, instead of being reactive, just giving yourself a little space and moving through things more consciously. If you feel things are out of your control, where do you have control? What can you change? What can you do in this situation? How can you help yourself? How can you advocate for yourself? How can you open yourself up to new ways through something that has challenged you before? And some of it can be, they keep bringing up community to me, allowing yourself to be more open, to be more vulnerable, to be more expressive. instead of holding things inside, giving yourself the opportunity to ask for help. And that help can be people within your life, but it could also be speaking to your guides, going into meditation, or going for a walk. If you don't want to lie still and meditate, go for a walk and just talk to your guides. You don't have to hear them respond. You don't have to have done this before. You don't have to put pressure on yourself in any way. Just talk. Say the things that you feel like you want to say. If there's people in your life that you're having issues with, if there's things that you want to get off your chest, things you wish you could say, do that too. You go for a walk, go sit outside, put yourself in a space where you feel safe and just imagine them before you. Speak those words to them. No, you don't have to speak it directly to their face, but just imagine their energy there and just speak these words. Get these things out. Say them in whatever way you feel like you need to say them. Just express, let out emotions instead of holding them in. You can also do that writing a letter. You don't have to send the letter, but just putting down those feelings. It's working through something, understanding how you feel, understanding what is the wound. Know if somebody did something that has bothered you, why did it bother you? Did you feel judged? Does it make you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel betrayed? Do you feel cheated? Do you feel let down? What are these things and how has that repeated in your life? Because each one of these opportunities is a way to move past something that has blocked you, something that has shown itself to you before. And the sooner that you can recognize a lesson, the sooner that you can be conscious about how you move through it, the sooner your guides can stop bringing this lesson to you, the sooner that you can pass the test and you can move forward. I know that me saying that makes it sound much simpler than it is, because when you're in those emotions, it is hard. It is uncomfortable. It can feel overwhelming. When you feel overwhelmed, give yourself a break as much as you can. Take a bath, go for a walk, put on music. It can be channeled music, it can be frequency music, it can be whatever you feel like listening to, something that allows you to just dance, to let go, to be free. Something that changes your energy. Go for a bike ride, go for a run, go outside. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed today because one of the videos I watched of Jennifer's was in part an activation, and the energies really made my head a bit messy. And I had a headache and I didn't really know what to do with myself. So I worked with some dark crystals, but it wasn't enough. It was messing me up too much. So in part, thank you, Jennifer, because I'm all in for an activation. Give me all of it. But also, just coming and sitting outside, being in sunlight, taking in some of these solar codes, taking in the sunlight, just being outside with my feet on the ground. I took off my shoes and I just put my feet on the grass, and I can already feel myself calming down, feeling more balanced. All right, I don't know what else did I want to say. If there's things that you feel rising, trauma, I have a playlist with some channeled meditations. Each one of those really works to help you to release trauma, as well as, there's one that helps you to connect with your guides. There's one for heart healing. There's some for clearing your energy restoration. See what you feel guided to. They all have crystal grids, and the grids will, impact your energy. You're going to know what you feel pulled to. But that's another way to support your energy, another way to give yourself an opportunity for your guides to help you. I did a video that I think went live this morning, but it was about working with crystals. You may only have 1 or 2 crystals, you may have no crystals. The video holds the energy of those crystals, and you can just set the intention to call into yourself those energies. I know when I take a shower in the morning, I call in the energies of quartz, or the energies of divine white light, and just have them clear my energy while the water is flowing. Sometimes I'll take a bath, and when I'm taking a bath, I put blessings in the water and I set the intention for the water to help me to release trauma. If you are one of the ones that is doing the Portal Day Amplifier session, that music is going to help you. No, the energies are specific to these 3 Portal Day months, and it can help you to balance your energy. It can help you to find clarity. It can help you to understand the situation differently, to just help you to find whatever it is that you are needing in this time. I think that's everything that I wanted to say. I always feel like I get done with these and I'm thinking there's things that I missed out on saying. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say here. But just, you know, we're in a high energy week. We had the full moon on Tuesday, and we've got the Portal Day, the 10/10 energies on Friday. I feel like right now it's always big energies. It's always intense. It's the times that we're living in, you know, the next 12 months is going to change a lot for all of us. The earth is changing, and with it, we are changing. We're a part of this process. We're all connected. And to break free of the old, to find the new version of ourselves, we got to push past the old, and we've got to just move through these energies. And to do it in the gentlest way possible is compassion to ourselves. So just, yeah, compassion to others, compassion to yourself. Like I said, from the people that I talk to, the people I've emailed with, you're not alone if you're struggling. A lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people are going through things. A lot of big wounds, the big lessons are coming up. So just be aware of that. Be gentle to yourself. Be gentle to other people. You know, give people a little extra space if they are volatile, if they are, trying to think of the right word to say this, if it's too much for your energy, if you're struggling with their energy. But just come to it with compassion. Come to things like, how would you want them to treat you in that situation? If somebody's dealing with a wound, you know, say somebody in your family's dealing with a lot of anxiety, instead of being frustrated with that, how would you want to be treated if that was you? And come to it from that perspective. Because to be confrontational, to bring anger into situations like that, is going to be a different dynamic than if you come to this with, like, you know, I'm struggling too, but let's work through this together. How can I help you? How can I support you? And in the same way, telling other people, you know, I really need help with this. Just being your own advocate, but recognizing you're not the only one in this place of struggle. You're not the only one who's going through this stuff, and that we have to do it together. All right. I will put the links below to the videos I was talking about that Jennifer had done if you are interested. She has a lot of videos. I know some of you already follow Jennifer, but each month, pretty much every month, she does what she calls a Lightworker Gateway. And the Lightworker Gateway videos have usually an activation in them or messages, something that supports a particular chakra, a particular part of your energy. So I'll link to her YouTube channel. It is Metatron is Speaking, but you could go just to the search in her page and search Lightworker Gateways. And you may be able to find one that is supporting the area that you need help in. There are crystal grids for each of the chakras available on our website. I'll put that link too. But these activations, they're about different chakras. So, you know, your third eye and your crown, but then you may be struggling a lot right now. Heart healing is really big right now. So look for the heart chakra grids. The throat chakra, the solar plexus is about personal power. The sacral chakra, creativity, sexuality, your willingness to take chances, take opportunities. Your root chakra can be about grounding, about balance, feeling safe, feeling secure. these are energies that are coming up a lot right now. So just use the resources that are out there. Like I have the meditations. Jennifer has these light worker gateway videos. Each one has a channeled message. Most of them have an activation and a grid. Take in these energies. Take in the things that are available to you and use them to help you in this time. If there's particular things that you're struggling with, things that you need help with, you can email us directly, or you can look at the services we have on the site, and we will do our very best to help you. But yeah, these are challenging energetic times, but they're going to move us forward. They're going to push us past some really big blocks. So just be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. We got this. Okay, bye.